you to hit the like and share button on YouTube and Facebook. This is the Hot Rod Podcast with Ron Foreman and Brady Wright. We literally live, eat, and breathe cars. Hey, it's Brady Wright and Ron Foreman. We're here with the Hot Rod Podcast, show number 360 tonight. We are going to be getting kind of a couple of upcoming events out of the way and talk about some things that are happening. The Rat Bastards Car Club in Idaho is a fairly new organization. The Washington Club's been around for a lot of years, but we're doing one of our first perpetual events, and it's going to start on July 6th, and it's going to be at a location in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, called the Cascadia Wood-Fired Pizza. Now, they've got some places over in Western Washington as well, and some other places. There's one in Spokane, I believe. Anyway, we're going to have the manager of the store. His name is Greg. He's going to be here. Greg Weddle is his name. And he's going to be here to talk about that with us, and Ron's going to play this or that. So what do you think? Should we bring him in?
Well, yeah, let's bring him in. And I heard they sell beer there, too.
They do, some really good ones. We'll ask him about that. Hi, I'm Brady Wright. I'm the founder of the Idaho Hot Rod Hall of Fame, and I got some big news coming up that I think you'll want to know about. Now, if you're a car person and you're in Idaho, especially North Idaho, you probably are aware of the organization, but just in case you're not, what we do is we recognize hot rodders, clubs, and people who support the sport of hot rodding all through the state of Idaho. It is for Idaho people only. Every year we have an awards banquet that recognizes a hot rodder of the year, a young rodder of the year, and a car club of the year throughout the state of Idaho. Now, you probably wonder, how do people get nominated and how do they get the award? Well, the nominations come from you. If you go to our website, that's Idahof, IDAHHOF.org. There is a nomination form there. You can download it, or you can send an email to idahof@gmail.com, and we'll send you one for yourself. And when you send them in, all of the board gets together once a year, usually in the fall, and we decide who's going to get nominated and who's going to get inducted into the Hall of Fame for that year. Now, our banquet is coming up in about 2 months. We're looking to do it in about September, so you have July and August to fill out your nominations and get them into us. It's real important. The nominations are self-explanatory. The form is real clear, and if you fill it out as completely as possible, whoever you nominate, or whichever club you nominate, has a pretty good chance of getting in. We induct one hot rodder of the year, one young rodder of the year, and one club of the year every year. But you can put your nominations in at any time. If we don't choose the person you've nominated, for example, this year, they may get in next year. Just depends on who else gets nominated. It's idahof@gmail.com or Idahof, IDAHHOF.org on the web. We're also on Facebook. If you have questions, you can ask them right there. We look forward to getting your nominations in, but do hurry. We need them by the end of August 2023. Here we are, show number 360 of the Hot Rod Podcast with Ron Foreman, a member of the Washington State Hot Rod Hall of Fame, and yours truly, Brady Wright, hosting here as usual, bi-coastal as it were. Ron's in Washington, I'm in Idaho, and Greg Weddle is with us. Greg is the manager of the Cascadia Wood-Fired Pizza in Coeur d'Alene, which is a very special place for a particular reason, and that reason is this. The Rat Bastards Car Club is an old line operation. It's been around for 18, 19 years, but the Idaho chapter is about 2.5, it's coming up on the third year, 2.5 years old. And we're actually to the point now where we're going to do one of our first regular scheduled events. We do cruises and things all the time, but coming up on July 6th, we are going to be having a cruise in at Cascadia the first Saturday of every month. July 6th is going to be the first ones. And Greg, as obviously the manager of the Cascadia here in Coeur d'Alene, we were up there, it's been about a month ago now, and stopped in just to have a pizza because it was a new place. And it turned out to be really good. And I sort of talked with Greg a little bit, and he said, well, sure, I'd like to have a whole bunch of hot rodders come to my place.
Absolutely.
Any weekend.
Good choice.
Yeah, and it's so let's talk a little bit about, first off, the place. Now, There's one location in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. There's another one in Rathdrum, which is about 14 miles north to 11 miles north-ish. And then you've got a food truck that goes around as well. How long has Cascadia been around?
Three guys started it about 10 years ago
Okay.
over on the western side of the state around the Seattle area.
Okay.
They got four stores over there.
That
And
sounded
I think,
familiar.
yeah, and I think they have three food trucks. One's in a permanent spot that just stays parked, and then the other two does the same thing we do here. They do different events, weddings, school functions,
Sure.
anyone that needs pizza.
And we all, let's face it, need pizza. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's one of the four food groups. In fact, it may be all four of
Absolutely.
the food groups.
Food
It's
of
the
the
number one of
gods.
the four.
That's right. That's right. So, what we found when my wife and I went there the first time was a really nice fast service, not fast food, but fast service kind of a place. You can order one of the, I don't know how many different pizza, combinations you have. There's got to be at least 20 or 25 of them, plus the dessert
Pretty
pizza.
close, yeah.
And then you can also kind of build your own if you like, particular toppings. And two sizes, you got a 10-inch and what's the other big one?
The 10-inch personal and the 14-inch large.
14-inch. So
Wow.
the personal, Ron, you'd love this. The personal is great. 4 pieces, two a piece, or you could snuff the entire thing down, and they're just about the right size. Crust
Yeah,
is really great. As a pizza, it stands alone. And the nice part about it is you can order, you can sit in the restaurant. You got a big patio out there and a garage door that goes up so you can be in or out depending on what the weather
Oh,
is like.
cool. Very
Yeah, and
cool.
right. Yeah,
there's a
you bring the outdoors indoors.
yeah, and again,
That's awesome.
a great big parking lot too, with I think 32 spots outside the restaurant, plus a driveway or drive-through window, and then you got another big parking lot out just kind of across the back of the existing parking lot that's huge. I mean, I think seriously we could probably put 150 cars out there if we really got creative on parking.
Oh,
Uh,
sure. Yeah.
yeah. So we thought that it would be a great place to bring all kinds of hot rods. And Greg may not know this. We talked a little bit, but Ron will, of course, back me up here. The Rat Bastards are a 69 or earlier American iron and steel, car club. It's not necessarily a rat rod club. It's
Sure.
all kinds of hot rods
We're a
and
diverse group. Very diverse.
very diverse and welcoming to all. But this event, in addition to just being kind of an introduction to the Rat Bastards Car Club in Idaho here, we're opening it up to everybody. I don't care what
Awesome.
year car you got, brand new, brand old, American, foreign, orphan, we don't care. Hot rod, rat rod, custom, lowrider tuners, we don't care. Bring them all.
Point of order. What are you going to charge for entry for the car show?
Actually, it's not a car show. It's just a cruise in.
Okay.
So everybody's
Oh,
welcome.
okay. Cool.
There's no charge.
That's cool.
We
That's
heavily
awesome.
encourage everybody to come and eat pizza, obviously. Um,
Obviously.
our major goal is really kind of twofold. Number one, we want to get as many people there as possible. And number two, we want to run Greg out of pizza. We want him to
Absolutely. Love
run out
that
of
idea.
crust that day.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's the weather's going to be good. It's July 6th. I mean, how can you not,
That's awesome.
yeah, in Idaho, that usually means hot and sunny and all that kind of stuff. Um, now you get
Hopefully.
sodas and things there, but you also have some brews and stuff on tap.
We got beer, wine, yeah. I mean, all kinds of libations. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Spirits.
The Portugal Amber beer is a personal favorite of mine.
oh, okay. All right. What else? What else you got? Tell me about the stuff you got on tap.
Well, I'll tell you what, I will show you.
Oh, even better. It's a
Yeah,
lot.
Nice.
Folks.
Yeah, what we're doing here. So we got the Bluebird Pilsner,
Uh-huh.
an Idaho 208 Golden Ale, the Ballman's All Berries cider, great cider.
Ooh.
A lemon basil that's also good.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people that like the IPAs. We got a couple. We got the Squatch Pirate, the Big Juicy, and like I said, my personal favorite, the Portugal Amber Ale, and the Laughing Dog Huckleberry. And then we got canned beers. The usual suspects: Kokanee, PBR, Coors Light. things like that. So,
Good.
yeah, and we got red wine, white wine, something for everybody.
No kidding. Not to
What's
mention,
your most popular pizza?
oh, there you go.
Ooh, toughie. You know what? I don't know if it will how well it will look here, but
To find out.
you can see like the those ones in the middle there, the red sauce pizza, the butcher, the Buckley, Cascadia margarita. Those are all favorites of people.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's one called the Big G. That's cheese, chicken, red onions with a ranch and buffalo sauce drizzle. Also a great pie.
Yeah.
Top it
The
with.
G stand for Greg?
I wish, but no. That's
Stands
one
for
of the
good.
owners.
Stands for
Yeah,
good. Stands for great.
yeah,
Great.
and top that one with bacon, and it's
Ooh,
food of the gods. I
Pretty much
mean, it's
anything
nice.
topped with bacon is a win. As far as I'm
exactly
concerned.
bacon topped with bacon
Although
is.
I'll have to say, I've had the Wenatchee, and
Oh yeah,
it's a great one. Got a little balsamic drizzle, but it comes with gorgonzola cheese, and I'm a sucker for gorgonzola cheese, so it's a win as far as I'm concerned. Georgia likes
oh
the
sure,
margarita. She thinks that's a great one.
yep,
Uh, and you got red
You're
sauce,
making me
white
hungry.
sauce, and barbecue sauce pizzas, right? Based.
yeah. The Lolo and the Cowboy, nice
Yeah,
spicy little pies. Yeah, good stuff.
no doubt. Well, we're really looking forward to doing this, and I got to say,
Same
for
here.
people who are watching, whether you're in northern Idaho or eastern Washington or even southern Canada, wherever you happen to come down from, um, we're doing something that well, we also are get involved with the Idaho State Hot Rod Hall of Fame, and for all of their events, there's a dash plaque that you get if it's your first time. One of those things. Well, we had some rat bastard dash plaques printed up and they are
Cool.
pretty slick. And so we're going to be offering those to first timers at the event, which kind of means that everybody that comes to this event is a first timer. So it looks like just about everybody's going to get dash plaque. Um, I'm okay with this. They're really nice plaques. There, it's actually our club logo, so we'll have some of those there. I'll make sure and save one for you, Greg.
Thank
So
you, sir.
you put it on the refrigerator or something up there,
Absolutely.
where all the other dash plaques are.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, I'm going to stop by your place in the next day or so. I got a bunch of flyers that I'll give you there so you can have them
Please.
place. Now, there's two events that we actually were going to talk about tonight. And one of them, of course, is this one because we're really looking forward to doing it. The other one is the annual Rat Bastards Big Show, which is called the Infestation. And this one is taking place in Western Washington in the town of Cedro Woolley, which is about 50 miles north of Seattle, roughly. Ron, it's pretty close to that.
It's about 50 miles north of Everett.
Yeah, well, okay, so that makes it
Yeah,
about 80 miles. It's not quite 80 miles because Bellingham is 82 miles, but it's pretty close
Yeah.
there. It's in the northern part of Puget Sound, and this is a great show. This has been going on for, I don't know, 15 or more years easily. And it's a terrific show now. It's obviously put on by the Rat Bastards in Washington. We have had people come 300-400 miles to go to this show.
Wow.
Yep.
That one's on July 27th, and it is at Riverfront Park in Cedro Woolley. Now you might have to look that up for the spelling. You won't miss it. It's pretty easy to find. And the trophies, Ron, tell us about the trophies.
They're all handmade by our membership. So I throw the category into a hat, and each member grabs a category, draws a category out of the hat, and that's the trophy that they choose to build. They don't choose, but they get to build. So it's kind of a guessing game. And we've had some pretty amazing artwork coming out of the membership building these trophies. Mostly it's steel and iron, chrome, some paint, some patina, all kinds of cool stuff. You can go to our Rat Bashers Facebook page and check out some of the pictures of the. If you click on the event, it's a Model A about 14 feet off the ground doing a jump. There's the picture of for the event.
Yeah,
and
it's a
inside
great
that,
one.
click on it, you'll see what to expect, and then you'll see some pictures of the trophies that were last year.
So Greg, let me ask you: is there a Cascadia pizza in Bellingham or up in the north part of Puget Sound? There any place?
Ooh, they're
That might-
all around that Seattle area. I have never been to any of them over there, so I
Okay.
can't tell you.
Just occurred to me to ask, that'd be kind of slick.
Sure.
No,
Yeah, no,
but you've
that's
got-
a great
you got food-
question.
You got food trucks over there though, right?
They do.
Fun.
Maybe a call to those guys, and
That would be kind of cool.
yeah,
Worth a thought. Well,
absolutely.
we'll see how that pans out.
That'd be
Um,
cool.
But yeah, so that's July 27th. We're going to have obviously the cruise in at Cascadia. That's going to happen on July 6th. And by the way, it's from 11 till 2 p.m. So it's not a real long event, but it's going to be a good one. And just because the event officially ends at 2 doesn't mean you have to leave. I mean, we stay there as long
Yeah.
as
Is that Friday, Saturday, or Sunday?
it's a Saturday.
Saturday.
First
Okay,
Saturday
cool.
is going to be first Saturday of every month. So
Oh, right on.
we're gonna do it year round,
Cool.
every month, regardless of winter, summer, fall, it doesn't matter for us.
That's cool.
Well, yeah, I mean, we think in Idaho, in North Idaho, the weather is such that, a lot of guys, they kind of pack up the hot rods around October and you don't bring them out again until, March or April. Well, we have been having, for example, the Cars and Coffee at Killerberg. We've been having that thing year round for 2.5 years. And heck, I had 19 hot rods at the thing in November with 4 inches of snow. I mean, and people will do it if you tell them to come and you give them, a place that's safe. Parking lots and shopping malls are pretty good. So, there's no reason we can't do this.
I've seen snowmobiles made into some pretty cool hot rods.
We have, as a matter of fact, well, see, people around here, they drive side-bys. There's side-bys,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
cross tracks and stuff. So those guys, they put a snow blade on the front and come right, it's right up
Heck
to
yeah.
the front. No problem.
Absolutely, yeah, sure.
Yeah, it'd be fun. There's a project for you, Ron. You got a couple old frames out in the back there. You might be able
Oh, I
to
do. I do.
Snowcat with some tracks on it. You'd be right there.
Be a moneymaker there.
Yeah, no kidding. So, Greg, let me ask you for this first event, you got anything particular planned? I mean, when I was talking with Rafa, he was saying, well, maybe with he's talking to some of the Jeep guys and some of the other people. He's going to bring a bunch of people down. You're going to do. I saw when you opened up the one in Rathdrum, didn't you have some boot scooting
Sorry.
dancers?
Yeah, we did a line dancing thing. That's more Rafi's forte. He's planning. What are some of the things? I don't really want to know too much. He's planning karaoke. His mind is just always going. So
Karaoke would be good. You know what else would be good?
okay, yeah. It'd be something anyway.
Well, you know what else would be good for a car event?
What's that?
Bring in a pinstriper.
Oh yeah.
Bring in a
Yeah.
pinstriper. You
We'll call out on the offer or marketplace for a pinstriper, and they'll
yeah.
have them show up.
There's
Mm-hmm.
several around here who probably would like, that might be fun. And they can charge for their work, of course. I mean, they sit there
Sure.
and
Sure, absolutely.
pinstriping done. We've had a couple of events where cars showed up with a straight paint job and left with some pretty interesting art. So just depends. I'm really looking
Good
forward.
stuff.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah, so are we. I hope he can show up with that new store. There's been a few challenges with it, so he's spent a lot of time out there, as you well know. But yeah, hopefully he can show up for this, and it'd be fun for a lot of people.
I hope so. It's going to be great. I got a quick story about the Rathdrum store. Now, Rathdrum, for those of you who are from outside the area, the main part of Coeur d'Alene Post Falls is close to the lake, and it's right off of I-90. But the Rathdrum store, it's about between 11 and 14 miles north, depends on which road you take. But there's a lot of across the plateau here. There's a lot of train tracks. All kinds of freight goes back and forth on this area, and about 100 feet from the patio at the Rathdrum store, right next to the street, is a train track. Now, trains don't go through there all the time, but if one happens to come through while you're eating, you're right next to it.
Exactly.
We were up there,
but they do a $3 beer special whenever the train comes through.
That's right.
So
That's awesome.
good time to be there.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
We were up there. Was it last Saturday? And there's some folks out on the patio And we were just inside the door there. You've seen the place. It's pretty wide, wide open. And here came a train. You can't, there's nothing you can do about it. They're going to come. And it's a long one too. So they kind of packed up and came inside. And then they said, "Oh, it's $3 beers. Well, we'll stay in here."
Absolutely.
So it all works out okay. But yeah, it's a great location, I have to say. The train, I'm making a thing about the train tracks, but it's really a terrific location. Great.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Part of the old town area. So it's all funky buildings and everything like that. It's a great location. Oh, and
So, Greg, I have to ask. Can I ask Greg a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. Hey, Greg, what was your first car growing up as a kid? Say,
Oh,
like when you were what
You
kind
know
of car
what?
did you have?
I'll never forget it. It was a '62 Chevy Nova,
cool.
Sweet.
Those were
Right
but I
on.
sold it because I had to have a pickup, and
Yeah.
I am one of those guys that have all the stories about cars I should have kept
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
didn't.
We all
But
have
We all
yeah,
have those stories.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I have a thing called
62.
this. I have a questionnaire called This or That.
Oh, yeah.
Would
It's
you like to
Ron's
play?
famous game. This is cool. It's really easy questions. You get to choose this or that. Ron's got, I don't know how many he's got in the universe, but he usually
A
pulls
few.
10 or 12. You want to give it a shot?
Sure.
Okay, well,
Okay.
go for it, Ron. What do you got? This or that?
So, let's kind of picture your mind. You're gonna get you pick. Gives everyone a kind of a picture of your character of your car guy isms, so to speak. So I'm gonna ask you a question. You pick one or the other, and we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
So, white walls or white letters?
Ooh. White walls.
Good answer. Steely or mags?
Ooh.
Like chromies,
Oh.
baby moons, or aluminum mags with kidney holes. They got the kidney bean holes.
Like the
Or
old
Krager.
Krager mags, the Krager, like the Krager.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, Krager mags.
Trigger, that's
Yeah.
cool. Automatic or stick?
Oh, stick, come on.
Right on.
Good man.
Okay, cool. Coupe or roadster?
Ooh. I love those old Ford coupes. I always have. Yeah, coupes.
Right on. Gene Winfield, George Barris. Who's your favorite?
I gotta say Barrett just because of what he did with like all of the comic strip cars and
The
all
Batmobile.
of that kind of thing.
Let's face it, the Batmobile.
Yeah, I mean, how does it get any cooler than that to a kid in the 60s?
Absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah.
Right on. This is going to be right up your alley. This is car show or cruising.
you know what? I like to walk around. I mean, I'm going with car show.
Right on. Eagles or Beatles?
I graduated high school in the 80s. Eagles. I mean,
Right on.
had to
There
be
is
the
no
Eagles.
wrong
In
answer.
fact, here's a little goofy. I was so stupid. I thought that I could write a letter to the Eagles to have them play our prom. Needless to say, didn't hear back from them. Plus Don Henley, one of great singer songwriter for the Eagles. Grew up in a town not far from where I grew up in Texas. So
Oh, right on.
Eagles.
Cool.
There's
That's
no
a cool
answer.
story. Street or muscle car?
Oh,
Street rod or muscle car?
see, my grandmother had an old '66 Roadrunner that she used to drive. She was a nurse, but she had this Roadrunner. Always raced people, got tickets.
Awesome.
I'm going with muscle car. I think.
Right on.
Honor
Well,
of
thank you,
grandma.
sir. Great stories.
Fun.
Thank you for
Now-
sharing. It's
Oh,
really
okay.
cool.
And now we know.
Do I get a passing grade, more or less?
I love
this or that?
I love those old Mopars, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I had I had a friend in high school who had, like a custom. He had a 57 Bel Air, and what everybody liked it. It was a great car. And he sold it. And we went, how dare you sell this, cool car? He shows up 2 days later with the weirdest car we never suspected. It was a 1968 Dodge Coronet 440, four-door, metallic
Wow.
red with the little steel wheels and the dog dish hubcaps. And we went, oh, yeah, yeah, how dare you do this? Well, he's just grinning, from ear to ear. And he said, oh, one moment, please. Lift up the hood. This was back when you could order off the menu.
Right.
And so he did, and he got the 426 Racing Hemi with the cop
Nice.
suspension and the oh my God transmission. I mean, everything that you could
Yeah.
get that would make it go fast. And
Those
Right on.
440s
I have-
ran like
Oh
a
my
scalded
gosh.
dog.
I have
Yes,
ridden
sir.
a lot of fast cars, and until my buddy bought a Hellcat, I had never been in a more terrifying car than that Coronet. I mean,
Absolutely.
I didn't know, as a grown person, that I could actually make a sound, like an 11-year-old girl terrified. But
Oh,
apparently
yeah.
I could, because it was really that scary. But you can't beat a muscle car. You just can't.
Agreed.
Right on.
No argument there.
Well, listen, let's wrap this with another hit for the thing. It is a cruise in at Cascadia, the Rat Bastards Car Club introductory cruise in. We're going to do it the first Saturday of every month from now until perpetuity. The first one is July 6th, 2024, in case you're watching the show some other time. It's going to be from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. You guys open at 11, so you'll be ready to rock and roll. Cars will show up,
Perfect.
order pizza, and we'll be just flying out of there. And it's open to all cars, every kind of hot rod. Bring your daily driver. We're okay, but come on and have some fun with us. Get a little bit of information about the Rat Bastards and check out Cascadia Pizza. You cannot go wrong with either one. And reserve the date, July 27th, Cedro Woolley, Washington, for the Rat Bastards annual Infestation Car Show. Handmade trophies, custom made every single category, and some really fun categories too. So that's a good one. It's if you're in Western Washington, or if you're even somewhere else and you want to take a drive. We've had people from a long ways away come to that show, and it's
Got a crazy amount of raffle prizes this year too. Over 20 different
gosh.
raffle prizes. We got a Ralph's building another barbecue hot rod.
Oh
They
yes,
raffle that off.
Yeah,
Casey
fire
built
pit.
a Casey
Sounds
built
good.
it's a giant rat made out of saw blades with piston legs and
Of course it
ears.
is. Of course
It's
it
gonna
is.
raffle that off. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
It's gonna be a good time.
Nice. I'll send you some money in advance to get about 300 tickets.
Cool.
All right.
Hey, that's how you won that pacemaker.
No, I didn't win that. That was Georgia. She won it. Yeah. A couple of years ago, we won a 1951 Hudson pacemaker in one of the club raffles. My wife saw it and she said, oh, I got to have it. So she bought like $350 worth of tickets and she won it.
And she won.
She won.
Nice.
Well, Greg, hey, thank you for taking time. I know you got a store to run and I see pizza being made in the background. So
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thanks for
have a
having
great
me.
evening. And if I don't see you before, we'll definitely see you on the 6th and we'll rock and roll for sure.
Sounds
Nice to
great,
meet you,
Brady.
sir.
Nice to meet you, Ron.
The Rat Bastards Car Club of Idaho loves a good time, and we'd rather build it than buy it. We're a family-oriented, nonprofit car club that welcomes all 1969 and older in the rough as enough, real steel and iron. We're all about old school, traditional hot rods and rat rods. We get together, we have fun, we help each other build, and we cruise like crazy because that's the way car clubs are supposed to be. The Rat Bastards of Idaho is a new class of old school. Our signature event is the Infestation Show every July. Check our Facebook page for location, time, and date. We're charter sponsors of the Idaho Hot Rod Hall of Fame and the Hot Rod Podcast. Join us at cruise-ins all over Idaho and Eastern Washington. Joining the club is easy. Just contact us through the club Facebook page or contact us at any event. Check us out on the Rat Bastards Car Club pages on Facebook. So, Greg was a pretty nice guy.
Yeah. Bet you didn't think he was such a car guy, did you?
I'm glad to hear that he was. He had some good answers for this and
absolutely.
that. Yeah, the this and
Yeah.
that.
Well, he had a 62 Nova.
Can't beat it. That was
Oh,
good.
that's awesome.
my folks had a 63 Impala, which I ended up having as my first car. And my dad was going to buy a 63 Nova, but because we had a family, he figured we'll get a bigger car. So the Impala, 4 seats, but
so the transmission in my hot rod is a power slide out of a 62 Nova.
Is that right?
I paid $75 for it like 17 years ago. Got a swap meet in Puyallup.
Yeah.
Still going strong.
It is. Having ridden in your car, I can testify that it's going just fine.
Yep.
That's the Power Glide transmissions. They're such a
you can't beat them.
You can't beat them.
Yep.
I still remember the band adjustment screw down in the bottom there. The little lock nut that you used to.
Oh yeah.
I still remember how many turns from bottom dead center that you back it off to get the thing adjusted right. That's
Don't lose count. Don't lose count.
No, you got to go back and start again.
Yeah.
It's a terrifying thing to remember after all those years, but
when you put a low car shifter in the Power Glide, you got to take the bottom off. There's some stuff in there you got to disconnect or reconnect and move around.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Well, that's why I kind of like having the 700 R4 in the truck, because the low car got it just fits right on it. It's a piece of a bar and that's it. Yeah,
that's what's in the Apache.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. How's the Apache coming?
It's still coming. It's moving along.
We need to do an update on the Apache, another show here down the line.
Yep. Right now I'm moving dirt, bringing gravel, getting stuff ready for my parking lot.
Yeah, well, it's an ongoing project, isn't it? You buy more cars, you need more space. What can we say?
Well, I'm tired of putting the cart before the horse. Now I'm going to make the pasture a little bigger and better. Provide a space for the horses.
Yeah. Good plan. All right, buddy. Well, hey, it's been a good time doing this again. As usual, we'll do another show next week, and we'll see this one coming up pretty quick, and we'll just forge ahead and do some more.
All right.
All right.
See you, buddy.
That's been the Hot Rod Podcast. We will see you on the next one. That's it for this episode of the Hot Rod Podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe to our show, and we appreciate it if you smash those notification buttons too, so you'll know when a new one drops. For Ron Foreman, I'm Brady Wright. This has been the Hot Rod Podcast. We'll see you on the next one.